Okay, new rotation's up. Let's talk about the cards we are going to be losing in the 2022, God that's a lot of twos, rotation. Let's talk about it. Alright, so I'm going to break it up into energies, Pokemon, trainers, and then I'm going to talk about the tag teams because they're the biggest loss we're going to sustain in the new rotation. And we're going to look through cards what I think are going to be the main losses, as it were, to the whole current meta what we have going. So let's start with energies. The first energy I think was going to be absolutely crazy for us to lose is triple acceleration energy. This is going to stop a lot of decks. So Mad Party I know runs 4 of them. Decidueye, and there's loads of decks what run triple acceleration energy. Losing that I think is going to be a massive strike, especially to Mad Party, since now they only have the twin energy to go for. So I don't know what they're going to replace that with. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, a very big loss there with the triple acceleration energy. Next energy I think is crazy that we're losing. So cycle energy. Once again, a lot of decks play it when it goes back to the hand, so you can just keep charging it out. I don't know, once again, what is going to replace it at all. There's nothing what really could replace it. I guess you could use XP share and a basic energy, but cycle energy, I think there's going to be a big loss across a lot of decks. One of the main special energies I think is going to be devastating, especially for the likes of Eternatus, Urshifu, all decks like that, is weakness guard energy. Being able to turn off your weakness, that is going to sting a lot of decks, especially Eternatus now with the fighting meta running around rampant. Weakness guard energy was one way they got out of it. Now that's gone. Eternatus is not looking too clever now. So yeah, once again, that's a giant loss. Weakness guard energy was a guaranteed sort of 4 off in a lot of decks currently. So yeah, I don't know what to really say about that one. Next, it's one I think is kinda interesting to lose, but draw energy. When you need that extra card off the top deck, if you use a Mew, play this. A Mewtwo, then you play this. Or Primate Wisdom, to then draw the extra card back anyway. This is kind of a weird one to lose. I can see it. It's not as impactful as the other 3 we've talked about, but it's still quite impactful. So yeah, draw energy. What a big card to lose. And of course, we have to talk about Fairy Energy. Fairy Energy is now officially done. It's out of rotation. Fairy Energy is no longer a thing. We still don't know what's happening with Dragon Pokemon. So that is something to look out for. But Fairy Energy is now official. It's dead. It's gone. The pink card is no longer a thing. So RIP Fairy Energy. We hardly knew you. We hope to see you around soon. Next set of cards I want to talk about are trainers. So the trainer cards I think are quite a dime a dozen on what's being lost. So we're just going to go through my list and have a chat about them and see what is kind of crazy. So buff padding is going. Now, I know you can use Keeper Toughness in its place, but that's only on basic Pokemon. Buff padding was anything with 4 retreat cost. So a lot of VMAXs, like Colossal VMAX, what had the 4 retreat cost, buff padding was like a guaranteed put into the deck. That's going to be a really big hit for a lot of stool tanky decks. So buff padding's gone. That is, you know, I don't know what's going to be replacing it. I guess if you're using basic Pokemon, you can use Cape Toughness, but short of that, it's going to be a big miss. Another one what is going to hit Eternus players is Dangerous Drill. Now, this is a good way of, you know, stopping special energy, Pokemon tools, stadiums. You know, it's crazy that it's gone. It's going to sting a lot of Eternus players. Once again, it's a big card to lose. It's an energy removal at the end of the day. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. Floridian Forest. Now, this one I haven't seen many people talk about yet. Floridian Forest being gone means energy search is now not a thing from a stadium. What is crazy? Say, like with ADP and different things like that, when that was run around, Floridian was go-to. I don't know if it will affect too much in the meta nowadays, but it's still an energy search and a discard. Well, it's very useful to play. So I don't know if we'll get something similar. But for now, we'll see what comes up in the future. But I can't see there being anything around soon. Another card, what I'm surprised we're losing, is Energy Spinner. Now, Energy Spinner is great if you're going second. You could just like get as many energy cards in your hand, especially if you're playing a Frostmoth deck. You can end up with your 5 energies in hand and just start getting them out everywhere. This is crazy. Like, no, sorry, it's 3 energy. Energy Spinner, yeah, you got to search for 3 energy if you went second. Now, that is a big card to lose. We've got Energy Search, but Energy Spinner was always so much better. Especially in fire decks with Welder, what is now also gone. And different decks like that. Yeah, so this is a big loss. As I said, we've also lost Welder. Now, fire decks, I don't know how they're going to come back from this, because Welder was one of the go-to cards of just like accelerate energy, draw 3 cards. It's arguably the best trainer in format. That's now gone. We now have the water version of Melanie coming out in Chilling Rains. So is water going to now be like the new fire? Well, it'd be quite cool, but it's got the electric weakness. So that could be really cool on the meta switch up. But Welder disappearing, yeah, that is a big game changer. Along with Welder, can't forget about Giant Half. Giant Half is now gone as well, so fire Pokemon search into like their energy is no longer a thing. And that is absolutely bonkers. Like, fire is being nerfed big time. I'm not too sure what you could do with fire currently, except Victini. Being like just a energy drop is kind of useful, but not guaranteeing the fire off the top. Yeah, this slows down fire decks a lot. I can't see it being as explosive going forward. So watch this space. Another trainer card we are losing, Reset Stamp. Now, I've stamped many people to 1, stamped people to 2 even, just to be able to pull off those tricks. But yeah, Reset Stamp disappearing, I think it's going to be maybe a little bit better for the format. We still have Marnie, so you can still disrupt people's hands when you want. But Reset Stamp going, yeah, that's kind of crap. Not gonna lie. Another card we're losing is Uturn Boards. So guaranteeing that free retreat back into hand, even when your Pokemon gets knocked out, kind of sucks. I don't know if Air Balloon will really be able to pull that spot. I did think Uturn Board was the superior Air Balloon. We might have it back in future, who knows? But yeah, the lack of boards and having cards being able to come back to your hand, I think it's going to be quite a big change to the meta. And also, we are losing Marillana. Marillana was one of the best sort of extra switch cards you could have had because you could heal. Losing that trainer supporter, I just feel like it kind of sucks. So that works really well when you're playing sort of Corviknight VMAX with the heal and keep going. We now have Cheryl and stuff like that, but losing Marillana, that's a big hit. Pokemon that aren't tag teams. So I think the biggest one we have to talk about is the GrtGX being able to ditch a hand and draw 6 new cards. that's now gone. So I hope you guys have invested in your Crobats, because that is your current draw support for Pokemon. And Kricketune, what is like a worse version of Intrepid Sword and Dance Tributes or Courier, but it's still more draw support, so we can find our way through stuff. But yeah, we've lost Dendene. We've also lost Stella Wistriachie. Now this was a lot of people's draw engine in a lot of decks. It was so broken, it works great. But yeah, losing our Stella Wistriachie kind of sucks. With the Scoopit combo. But in turn, I think it was time it was gone. It's been reprinted to the heavens. But I did enjoy using this Stella Wistriachie. I've been using it since I tried to get back into Pokemon with Malamar and Giratina. But yeah, this is absolutely crazy turn of events to lose a Giarchie of the highest caliber. Another card we are losing, Spirit Tomb, Building Spite, and Anguish Cry. This deck saw a lot of potential, especially with the damage I bet it could do for a single prize, and you expect to trade Hider. You throw a Bruno in with this, find it relevable. It was a good deck. So seeing this card disappear, I don't think it ever hit its full potential, but it was a really cool ass deck, and I'm sad to lose it. Also, we are losing GrtGX. This card only came relevant recently, especially with Urshifu's being weak to Psychic, and Fighting types being weak to Psychic, and Psychic types being weak to Psychic, especially with Mewtwo, and Mewtwo, and all the other lines, what there is. But losing GrtGX is probably in the best idea for the format, because then at least you get your psychic weakness back against your big boys like the Urshifu's that are currently knocking around. So yeah, at least we have something we've found to be able to fix that weakness, but it's going to be crappy for it to disappear. Really cool card, but there we go, it's one of those things. Another card we're losing, what I actually forgot about, and that's Theon with Whirlpool Suction. It's a free boss on your bench. Immediately you don't get to choose what comes up from the active your opponent picks, but that's a skill card, and sometimes they pick the wrong card, so it opens you up for the opportunity. But losing Theon, I think, is going to be a hard one to lose, especially when you had it sort of at the end game. You could just keep cycling it around, so you would never deck out, to be honest with you. So, kind of sucks that we're losing it. Theon was a really cool card. Never got the opportunity to play it too much myself, because I never had a deck to put it in. But whenever it got used on me, it was bloody annoying, so I respect the card, and so long and farewell. choreogx. I saw this rear its head multiple times later on in the formats. For the Dance Tribute, every time you lose a knockout you can draw 3 cards. This is basically a really great draw engine for single prize decks, and we saw it really do its rounds in decks like Mad Party and Primeape and all stuff like this. It's a really cool card. Once again, another set I'm going to miss, and one what became very relevant recently. Bench Barrier Mew is finally done. It's on its way out. It worked really well for as long as it did. It protected our benches, especially with stuff like Duranitan and Urshifu, Pikarom, anything what just attacked a bench. You throw one of these little bad boys in, you were sorted. So yeah, Mew being gone, I think it's gonna spice up the meta a lot. But Bench Barrier was very useful. I think they may probably reprint something very similar soon, but I am not 100% sure. But I did really dig Bench Barrier Mew. It was a good card to have to add to the deck. So we'll see what comes out in the near future. Now, the main thing we are losing through this whole rotation is tag team Pokemon, such as ADP, Pikarom, Mew Mew, and Luke Mel. What has really dictated the whole format currently with how decks are built. It's crazy. ADP has been at the top of the game for so long. Pikarom destroying competitions Luke Metal has been just destroying Chilled series and different things like that. Mew Mew fits in all of the decks because it was just such a broken card. Now this has happened, we have to just sort of accept the fact that tag teams are no longer going to be the 3 top decks. I have no idea what's going to be taking them over. I think it'll be between Turntis, Urshifu, Victini currently. But yeah, losing these cards, it's like the meta's over. It's going to be a whole different beast. I'm very excited about this, but I just can't believe like we're at the end of this era. This is the era I got back into playing Pokemon again, and I started with Pikarom because I went into a shop, got asked what's a good deck. They pointed me to the Pikarom battle kit with a trainer toolkit. I put it together, was like, man, there's a cool deck, so I'm running with Bolt Hounds in there and having a great time with that deck. Then I changed into Lumel, so I went from one meta to the other, and I absolutely love playing those decks. So it's going to be interesting to see where we go from here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the next meta is going to be. So why don't you leave a comment in the description down below. In the description? No, just in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think is going to be the new meta. Let me start a conversation because I have no idea where this is going to go. I'm looking at new sets. I think Psychic's going to be cool. I really don't know. But we'll keep an eye open. But for now, I'll catch all you fine ass beautiful people later. Peace out, guys. Bye.